Good morning. I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in the beautiful city of Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today my special guest is Constable Earl White. Welcome, Earl.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in Beaumont.
Oh!
Born and raised in Beaumont. Actually a product of BISD. I graduated from French High in 1979. Left for a little while and attended Texas Southern University on a music scholarship of all things.
Really?
Yeah, but I was starving to death. So I came back to Beaumont and was fortunate enough to join the Beaumont Fire Department in 1980.
Okay, so you graduated in '79 from French, so you're a Buffalo.
I am a Buffalo. That I am. Orange.
You're orange.
Orange and white.
Listen, my wife was the last class of French. You know,
that would have been 1986.
That's 1986. Yes, she sure is. And so you left and came back.
I did.
And so you joined the fire department.
I did. I joined the fire department on October 27th of 1980, which was actually my birthday.
Wow.
So, and it turned out that I spent 36 years there. Absolutely phenomenal career.
Hold up, Earl. You spent 36 years in the fire department?
I did. I spent 36 years in the fire department, rose to the rank of captain. Spent 10 of those years on shift as a regular firefighter. Firefighter, driver, operator. So I did the regular firefighter deal, and in fortune, I was able to bid up into the arson and fire prevention division, and which was a very, very unique job. I did inspections on commercial buildings, on foster homes and things like that, and then was fortunate enough to attend the police academy and became a certified police officer.
Wow.
Yeah, and conducted fire investigations for the last 26 years.
Okay. So Earl, I mean, from 1980, you rose through the ranks.
Yes.
I mean, systematically, just going from one division to the next division.
Yes, with the education that I received from BISD and from Texas Southern University and Lamar University, our local university.
Wow.
Yes. So I tell everybody, education is an investment in your future. It has benefited me tremendously. It really, really has. And I was fortunate enough to be asked to run for an elected office, which is Constable of Jefferson County Precinct 1, and the voters thought enough of me to elect me to office in March of 2016.
So now you retired from the fire department.
I did. I actually got elected March of 2016, and a few days later, the previous constable decided to resign, and so they asked me to take office early, and I graciously agreed because the voters spoke with over 70% of the vote that I received. So that was a strong indication that they wanted me in office.
Okay, so now many people don't know what the constable do.
They don't.
And so can you take a few moments today to explain to our viewers what actually do the constable do?
Actually, the constable was authorized by the Constitution, Texas Constitution of 1876, and we're one of the oldest law enforcement agencies in the state of Texas. There's 760 constables throughout the state of Texas, and we are licensed peace officers. And in my office, we have 5 deputies and 3 civilian clerks. In our jurisdiction, can we enforce criminal law? Yes, we do. But our primary job is civil and criminal process. And what I mean by that is that small claims in the justice of peace courts, say for instance, you and I have a dispute, on property dispute or something like that, you can actually file suit in small claims court, and a constable comes out and actually serves you that summons.
Wow.
And that's our primary duty. And along with that, we do evictions, which is not a very good part of the job when you have a landlord-tenant dispute, but that's how you settle it. What will happen is that the tenant is not paying rent, so the landlord does what he calls a 3-day vacate notice.
Right.
He actually goes out and tells the tenant, hey, listen, you haven't paid me my rent. I'm giving you 3 days to vacate the premises.
And so then you show up to make sure that the peace is secured.
Absolutely. After that 3 days, the landlord can actually go to the Justice of Peace Court and file what we call for writ of possession to get his property back. And that's the legal way of doing it. You've in the past, you've had some landlords that didn't take the legal way to do it, removing doors from their tenants. Well, that's not the right way to do it. So what happens is once they file for that writ of possession, there's a court hearing. The tenant is advised of the date. The the landlord advises the date. And they actually go before the judge, and they air their complaints, and the judge makes a ruling one way or the other. Normally, the landlords here in Beaumont are very, very versed and take care of their business, so the judge makes it very, very simple for the judge. And in fact, in my precinct is so large that we actually have 2 justices of the peace.
Really?
We do.
So now, is it that each constable service a justice of the peace?
It does. It does. There's 6 precincts
Okay.
here in Jefferson County. Precinct 1 being the largest, and you have 2 in Port Arthur, 1 out in Fournette, and 2 here in Beaumont. My cohort, or my sister constable, is Dana Baker in Precinct 6.
Yeah.
And his judge is Judge Ransom Deuce Jones.
Okay, now, so what judge do you,
I have Judge Beaulieu and Judge Dollinger.
Okay.
In Place 1 and Precinct 1, and Place 1 and Precinct 2. And they do a phenomenal job, and we have an absolutely wonderful working relationship with our judges. And we also provide bailiff and security for the courts.
Okay.
That's one of our duties, is to protect that judge at all costs. So I have my constables, deputy constables are designated in security for those courts, and we make sure that order is maintained in the court.
Right,
You hear
right,
that all
right,
the time.
right.
Order in the court.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we're there to enforce order in the court.
That's your job.
Yes, that's exactly right. And there's a rewarding. We can actually go out and we're doing evictions, but we do it with compassion. I made sure that when I got there, I sat my deputies down and the clerks down and said, hey, we're going to take care of the job, but we're going to do it with compassion.
Right. So what is the response of people when your officers show up to serve them?
Well, nobody wants to be sued or anything like that. So we get a lot of people that avoid service and everything, but we tell them, hey, it's not going to go away. And what we're required to do is what they call our due diligence.
Uh-huh.
To go to their homes, to go to the homes of their parents. We go to the address that's provided to us. And sometimes, unfortunately, we have to go to their place of employment.
Wow.
But like I said, we do it with compassion. We'll usually call them and tell them, hey, listen, we're really trying to serve you this paper. We don't want to come to your job and have to do that, but we're going to go where we have to do because we're charged with getting that paper served. And of course, we do arrest warrants also because, again, we're licensed peace officers in the state of Texas. But our primary duty is not criminal. But if it happens in our view,
Right.
I've explained to my deputies and myself, we'll take action.
Okay, so with all of the things that are happening right now with the communities and law enforcement agents, I mean, what do you say to your officers? Because we want them to come home safely.
Absolutely, absolutely. My deputies, first off, officer safety is my number one deal. When I got there, most of them weren't wearing protective vests.
Oh.
Well, my officers, if they're in uniform,
Yes.
they're required to wear a protective vest. And the money's there, and I'm going to buy them everything that they need to get home safely to their families. And we're a family. In just the time that I've been in office, I can tell you that we're having a good time, but we're getting the job done. And we've actually bonded. We really, really have. I am a working constable. I work just as hard as my deputies and as my clerks. And I want to brag on my staff. They're absolutely phenomenal. When an elected official takes office, he can choose his staff. And I chose the deputies and the clerks that were there. Now, the first couple months, it was dress rehearsal.
Right.
But I was bound to determine that when I took office, that didn't mean that they'd lose their job.
Right.
Because when you take away somebody's living, that not only affects them, but it affects their family. It has a rolling effect on everything. Well, let me tell you what, they've met and exceeded my expectations.
Wow.
They really, really have, and I brag on them every opportunity that I can. They had some uniforms that they weren't very proud of when I got there. Well, you know what I did, Pastor? I said, tell you what, I'm going to get you new uniforms, and you decide what you like.
Yeah. So they have the buy-in.
Absolutely. My only stipulation is that we went back to the traditional law enforcement blue.
Okay.
But they designed the badges, they designed the patch, and everything on it. And they're ecstatic every day. They come to work, they work hard for this community.
Right.
And we participate in this community.
Right.
We volunteer at BISD, we volunteer for MDA, We did the lockup. I provided deputies to go out and arrest people for the fundraising and everything. And I'm going to institute something next year. I'm going to get with BISD and hopefully get on the same page. We're going to have a day with the constable.
Wow.
For young men and young women that are interested in law enforcement. And there's different aspects of law enforcement.
And I believe that's a good thing, because by sitting down and talking with them, you could tell them about the decisions that they make today will affect their future tomorrow.
Absolutely, absolutely. I talked to a young man the other day and told him, you know, I would not have been able to do what I'm doing right now if I hadn't practiced discipline and faith in God. Right. And show people that I'm from the north end of Beaumont.
Yeah.
But if you get an education and faith in God and do what you're supposed to do, my life is extraordinary, Pastor.
Yeah,
it really, really is. And there is nothing that people can't call me for, that if I can do it, I'm going to take care of it. And giving people your word.
Right.
Your word means everything.
And keeping it.
Keeping your word. Yeah, our society nowadays, we have a hard time keeping our word.
Right.
That's all you have.
That's all you have.
That's all you have, your word and your character. And I go out in the community, I try to attend every event, and I give my card out, and I put my cell phone number on there. And they go, you're giving me your cell phone? Yes, I work for you. You elected me.
Right.
And not only has to do something with the constable's office, but I've been around a long time. And with the city and other entities, call me. I may not be able to do it, but I may be able to send you to the direction that you need to be.
So what are some of your plans that you have for your department in the upcoming days? You have anything special that you're looking at to if a person wanted to get involved in your department? How can a person get involved?
They can call me at my office, which is 409-835-8450, or they can email me at ewhite@co.jefferson.tx.us. And I welcome those calls. I really, really do. My whole career at the fire department was about service. My new career is about service, that same mission.
Right.
It is about that same mission. And of course, you see me in the public. I'm there. I'm available. That's what public officials do.
Yeah.
We answer to the taxpayers. And any public official that doesn't do that doesn't deserve the office.
Well, listen, I want to thank Constable Earl White for being here today to talk to us about what happens in his department. And I want to thank him for his service not only to our community, but putting himself out there to protect and serve us. And so I'm so glad he's here today. And so again, I want to thank you for joining us here on What's Happening in Our Neighborhood. And we will see you next time on our broadcast.